Hello everyone, we're back at the project site. I am shooting while the guys are installing the roof. So it's now Friday afternoon. I'm on the road, may mga tao sa kalsada. But our video today won't be on the construction, on our home build update. But the video is about an interview that was done by Ian Gonzaga, or most of you might know him as Boy Dubai. He did a Facebook Live on Wednesday where he featured several OFWs as to how they made the decision of going home for good. So I want to share it with you. I shared a few pointers as to how I made the decision. This video is more for people who have the privilege, no, the opportunity to decide whether they would go home or not. I'll leave the link to the entire video down below so you can make sure to watch. But here's just an excerpt of what happened, what we discussed.
Babalik ka rin. Oh my God. Good evening, magandang gabi sa lahat ng mga kasama natin tonight. And welcome to another episode of Boy Dubai Live. And anong naalala nyo when you hear that song? Kasi ako, bago ako mag-OFW, like 14 years ago, this song always rings in my head. Kasi parang this tells the story of typical overseas Filipinos who go to abroad para magtrabaho kasi we tend to set deadlines on ourselves. We tend to plan na I will stay abroad or I will stay in Dubai, for my case, for only a couple of years or maybe maximum of 5 years, and then I will go back home. Kasi I would think na siguro in 5 years I can already save some money. Tapos pag uwi ko doon, I can already live the life I am thinking of or I'm dreaming of. Or maybe I could start a business. And then the real life happens. No? I think every one of us is in the same boat. Hindi natin makakaila yun. Siguro kung meron man talagang nag-stick dun sa plano niyan, mag-stay here for 2 years at nakauwi ng Pilipinas for 2 years, siguro sila yung talagang under contract pa rin ng kanilang mga employer back home in the Philippines. The contract ended and they go back home. But for many of us, 99% hindi nangyayari, hindi natutupad yung initial plan natin. Gusto kong alamin kung bakit, you know. And I invited a lot of our friends, Mike here. So we have another special guest who will share her story naman in connection to what Omar and Angel have said. So I am talking about a good friend also of mine, our good friend. She was a journalist here in the UAE. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it from Janice.
Hello everyone, my name is Janice Ponce de Leon. I used to work as a reporter with Gulf News in Dubai. My husband and I recently retired from overseas work after 8 years for me and around 13 years for my husband. The question that I'm tasked to answer right now is, how did I know that it's time for us to go home for good? This is a very difficult question to answer. It took me months to decide. My husband had been wanting to go home for good since 2014, so his heart was already settled. All he needed was to convince me to go home. It all started in September of last year when I was suffering from burnout, and I prayed to God what I would do, and He led me to leave my job. So I resigned in October, and I have since embraced life as a housewife to live a grace-based, simplified life. Now, in January, we came home for a vacation to attend our family reunion because it was my mom's 60th birthday. Now, I come from a family of OFW, so lahat kami nagsiuwian. And then, I remember every day I would ask the Lord, Lord, is it time for us to go? Is it time for us to go home? Is it time for us to stay in the Philippines? Tapos na ba yung panahon namin sa abroad? And I would pray that every day, and the answer came on the 1st of February. I don't want to sound cheesy, no, pero yung katotohanan lang, naginip talaga ako na nagre-wrestling ako with an angel. At that time, my reading was in the book of Genesis, was when Jacob was wrestling with an angel. And when I woke up, I had that sense of peace na, oo nga, time to go. And God led me to my prayer journal, because in my prayer journal, I have 3 terms kung uuwi na ba talaga kami. First was if that is the Lord's leading for our four good plans, kung leading ba ng Panginoon. Pangalawa, house project. Do we have a house to stay in? Because of course, we want to have our own place. Pangatlo, business, leading ng Panginoon sa aming business. By God's grace, we currently have 2 businesses running. The other one is closed for the moment because of the crisis. But we hope to resume in the next few months. Pero bilang babae, no, I'm sure nakaka-relate yung ibang kababaihan na, of course, you want security. Is the income we are earning enough for us? Fortunately for us and by God's grace, our needs are met by our current income in the Philippines. But yung pinakasagot talaga na binigay ng Panginoon on the 1st of February was, una, yung leading sa For Good Plans, He changed my heart. Talagang shift, talagang 180-degree turn na okay, at peace na ako, nauwi na kami. House project, He provided funds for our house project. And sa business naman, nilid niya kami para makita na talagang construction is booming in Palawan, in our hometown. And there is potential, great potential here for my husband to start his own contracting company. So those were the 3 terms I had with God and with my husband, and God answered them as well. So yun yung pinaka naging dahilan kung ba't nasabi ko na, yes, it's time for us to go home. And we praise God for the 8 wonderful years we had in Dubai. Now, if you are one of those who are asking, how should we make the decision? I will leave with you 4 questions that you need to ask yourself. Hopefully, it can help you make the decision. What's the plan? P is for purpose. Have you achieved your purpose in Dubai? Kung ang purpose mo ay mag-ipon, makabili ng lupa, makatayo ng bahay, maka-support sa family, have you achieved that purpose? This is for those who have the privilege to choose, ha? Kasi may iba na talagang forced na silang napapauwi. Pero ito, if you have an opportunity to choose, ask yourself, have you achieved your purpose? Is it the Lord's leading? Leading ba siya ng Panginoon para umuwi na kayo? Ano yung gagawin nyo? Next adventure nyo, next chapter nyo. A is, what is your alternative when you go home? Hindi naman pwedeng wala na kayong gagawin sa Philippines. Mabubore kayo, lalo na kung bata pa kayo. So, what's your alternative? And is that alternative enough to support you, your family, and your retirement? And N is, will you be able to navigate that new chapter of your life with the current situation, the current support system that you have? I hope that God will lead you sa inyong pagdedesisyon. Just like what the book of Proverbs says, there are many plans in a man's heart, nevertheless, the Lord's counsel, that will stand. And so, I hope that the Lord will bless you in your plans and in your decision making.
Thank you so much for that, Janice, and for really putting up a good video and with guide plan, purpose.
Gusto ko sanang kausapin si Janice, tatanong ako.
Baka she's watching right now from Palawan. Hello, Janice.
Kaya nga Janice.
What are your thoughts on her perspective, Mike?
Very practical, in a sense na she put some she called it terms, pero para sa akin a guideline.
Yeah.
Ito yung parang magiging guideline ko if I'm going to push through or not. And the thing is, iba yung perspective niya kasi she's a woman and married.
Yes.
So talagang yung security talaga, I don't know how she process things, but so far din sa video na napanood ko, it's really something na admire sa mga sa babaeng tulad niya na she really pre-decided siya when this thing happened. Wala nang prolong. We're going to do it. And definitely, I think she communicated sa husband niya.
Yep. Yes.
It's very good na ganito kasi things are uncertain. Diba? There is no guarantee. But it's very good you have a clear plan. Clarity.
You were asking Janice, I don't know if she, ayan, sumagot na si Janice. Let's flash it on the screen. You were asking her kung paano niya communicate yung decision to her husband. So this is what she said. 2014 pa lang, gusto niya na umuwi. Ako yung matagal nag-decide. So when the leading from God came, I shared the decision with him. Pero we were praying every day about it. So somehow, alam niya na rin. Ako, okay. So 2014 pa lang pala gusto niya na umuwi. Siguro sabi ni answered prayer. No? By the way, happy anniversary sa Team Jacknet. I think they just had their anniversary.
Yeah.
And your anniversary
Janice,
yesterday.
your husband prayed for you pala.
Yeah. He prayed for you. You were the answer to his prayers. Anyway, as I was saying kanina bago ako maghang, I think the confidence, Janice's confidence is not based on the geographical thing or the benefits of the geographical location can give her or not at her work. Kasi she's really doing well dito sa Dubai. She's one of the most, what do you call this, excellent journalists ng Gulf News. And all of her reports are really parang connecting and communicating to people, to the readers. No? And then nagulat nga ako when I learned that they are moving for good to the Philippines. So her confidence is in the Lord, and not in the work, not in the salary, not abroad.
Exactly. And tsaka ang common denominator doon sa dalawang couple na nakita natin, no? It's the needing na to be together. Whatever the decision is to be together by the end of the day, is to be with your husband, to be with your wife. No, para yung mga decision before that is like parang sprinkle na lang yun eh. But the main goal is whatever my husband is, whatever my wife is, I will be there.